Well, here we go for the members of the Burnettwork. You valued members, it's another Spoiler Saturday. I don't know if we've had another Spoiler Saturday. This is the first Spoiler Saturday. So, welcome to all of you. Spoiler Saturday, here for you, the members. Our way of sort of saying thank you for being here and for being members of the channel. So basically, I'm here to talk about what you might want to talk about. I do want to talk about, of course, WandaVision. Who doesn't want to talk about WandaVision? I'm making up my own song as I go. I don't know if you guys watch the Everything Always channel, but there was a very interesting theory that they posited about this Luke Skywalker level cameo that we may be seeing on the show, on WandaVision, in these next 2 episodes. And they posited, get this, after a little deduction and based on what Paul Bettany himself has been saying over the years, they said that it might be, get this, check it out, Al Pacino. No, I'm not kidding. Al Pacino might be the actor that Paul Bettany was talking about, somebody he's admired and always wanted to work with. He mentioned in a previous interview, I think back in 2015, 2016, he said the 3 actors that had the most impact on his life were Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, and Robert De Niro, all, of course, appearing in the Godfather movies. But Al Pacino and Robert De Niro he's never worked with. And I think the idea, if in fact everybody was right about Agatha Harkness, so why not have it be Mephisto, and why not have a Phantom Man, Al Pacino, come back? He did such a great turn as the devil in Taylor Hackford's The Devil's Advocate, a film I really love. Who's to say Al Pacino couldn't be Mephisto, the devil himself? Could that be? I don't know. But I'll tell you something. I love Al Pacino. And if they brought him into the Marvel Cinematic Universe and he was playing Mephisto, I would lose my mind. Lose my mind. So, I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Is that a possibility? Could that be something that that could be real? Like, I don't know. I have been thinking a lot about, some of the especially the commercial for Nexus. And, the more I watch WandaVision and the more I look at people's videos that are pointing things out, the level of detail that they've gone into in terms of even the things that are in the commercials, like the I don't know, the warnings printed out on the boxes of something. And it's pretty amazing, the level of detail. But what I found really interesting was the idea of the Nexus commercial. And the idea of the Nexus has been in the Marvel Cinematic Universe for a while. So I'm like, okay, what does that mean exactly? Well, what's really interesting is the Nexus Beings, which Wanda Maximoff is one. Allow me to read from the Marvel database what a Nexus Being is. Nexus Beings are the rare individual entities with the ability to affect probability and thus the future, thereby altering the flow of the universal time stream. These beings, each referred to as a nexus, act as the keystones of the multiverse and are crucial to its ultimate coherence and stability. Nexus beings are vigilantly watched over by cosmic forces such as the Time Variance Authority, the TVA, and the Timekeepers to be aware of any temporal changes that the nexi may cause the time stream and act accordingly. One Nexus being alone supposedly exists on each of the parallel worlds in the multiverse and personify the character of their respective realms and serve as the focal point or anchor of that reality. Each being also acts as the node of the mystic energy of their respective world. The physics of the dimensional universe also dictate that no two Nexus beings can exist on the same plane of reality and can only project onto other realms with an active Nexus being as an apparition. Nexus beings also have the potential to produce unbelievably powerful offspring, as it was mentioned that any born of the Scarlet Witch, Nexus being of reality 616, would be powerful enough to stand among the great forces of their universe and rock the cosmos itself. The powers and the abilities of Nexus beings are variable. Each Nexus being supposedly has a power unique to themselves: geomancy, sorcery, psychometry, necromancy, hex power, etc., despite all having the potential to change probability. Now, the representatives of Nexus beings are Scarlet Witch, Lore, Elin, Leonard Tippett, Sineg, Merlin, Kang the Conqueror, Franklin Richards, The Vision, Jean Grey, and Orden Boson, or Borson. I think that's very, very interesting, and the fact that they're going to introduce this, and I think they already have, is really setting up what's going on here in WandaVision. So how interesting is that? I think pretty interesting. I don't even know where it's going to go, what's coming, and I think I'm all for it. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that they're going to bring about? Obviously, they brought up the whole idea of the Nexus. It's been brought up before. Selvig brought it up before. It was on his chalkboard. And wouldn't it be interesting if we could have, I don't know what character is coming. I mean, I said in a stream that I did for John Campea that's probably up now, that I think the next big bad that they're going to introduce we know he's coming, is Kang the Conqueror. And I think that Kang being a Nexus being, I don't know if they're going to introduce Kang now. I mean, but it maybe later. I don't think we're going to see that here in WandaVision, but it's going to be pretty interesting when they do, or if they do, or how they do. Again, not sure where all this is going, but I'm certainly here for it. It's all very, very interesting, and we'll see what's happening. So what do you guys think? I mean, I'm here to talk with you. It's an open Ask Me Anything spoiler Saturday. You can bring up any theories or anything you care to say. That's why I'm here. You don't have to send me super chats or send me anything. You are members. So Jeffrey Mao says, yo, I'm here. The spoilers can start. Cinema Gulp says, addressing the elephant in the room right away. Apparently, it must have been a bad rumor that the last 3 shows were going to be an hour long each. This actually felt like the shortest to me. It was over 30 minutes, but yeah, it was a short episode. I thought it was getting crazy. Also, what was really interesting is if you watch the episode, when the way that the aspect ratio has been changing on the show, when we are in quote-unquote the real world, it goes to 235 or 239 to 1. It goes to widescreen. And when we're in Westview, it goes back to full frame. Well, when we went into Agatha Harkness's dungeon, or whatever that is, it went into widescreen, which leads me to believe that it's underneath, that's the real world. Somehow that's some kind of an enclave outside. We know that the Westview Hex, the anomaly, goes to underground. We saw that when the Beekeeper went through the tunnels, but not in Agatha Harkness's basement. So what does that mean? I don't know. But it's going to be interesting to see where all of this goes. So, yeah. Cinema Gulp says, addressing the elephant in the room right away. Apparently, it must have been a bad rumor that the last 3 shows are going to be 1 hour each. They actually felt the shortest to me. Yes, I know it was short. Justin says, love the Agatha Harkness reveal and her Disney villain song. It's been stuck in my head since yesterday. So good. I tweeted out that guy's metal version of it. I don't know if you saw the metal version of it, but I thought it was really, really cool. So, yeah. Justin Toner says, yeah, it seems like people forgot to check if Feige actually said that. I don't think he did. People were saying that, but I didn't see it was reported everywhere. I don't. Cinema Gulp says, I love the Munsters style opening for Agnes. It was great. So good. Not that Wanda is under her spell. I'd love to see next week's episode play out like a Law & Order SVU with Vision and Darcy. I think next week's episode is going to be an entire flashback from for the last 3 weeks, where we're going to see how all this started, why it started, what's really going on, and at the end of the episode, whatever the true revelation of all of this will be revealed. Just like episode 4, we saw the real world, I think, and it was a flashback seeing Monica's backstory. I think episode 8, the structure of this show has been great because just like a screenplay, it's got Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. Each act is 3 episodes long. So you had episodes 1 through 3, which was inside WandaVision. And then episode 4 takes us out, at the end of episode 3, takes us outside of the Hex. Episode 4 was almost entirely, it was a flashback leading up to the present. That's what I think is going to happen in episode 8. There'd be a nice storytelling symmetry there. So we'll see. That's what we'll see. I mean, it's crazy. Scotty R37 says, I've been heartbroken for Wanda during the whole show. I have too. That's why I've been keeping my Wanda Maximoff figure here. I'm sad all the time now. I cry for her. I think we are seeing her definitely break bad, and it isn't going to end well for Maximoff. Justin Toner says next week is Agatha's origin story. Yeah, it's going to be a flashback. We're going to find out not just look at that. Wanda's I didn't fix her thing there. There, she's better now. Yeah, I think I think we're going to see that next week. Jeffrey Mouse says she's apparently a good singer. Catherine Hahn's amazing. Even Catherine Hahn sang "It's been Agatha all along" part. Yes, she did. Loved it. You know, it's interesting if you look at the end credits of that episode. The name of the song, so there's not even a spoiler. It says "It's been blank all along." That's like the actual credit of I wonder if when they registered that trademark or something, if they actually left it blank. It's been blank all along as part of the actual title that they registered, so nobody knows. I think that would be interesting. Justin says Monica getting her powers was an amazing sequence, very powerful. I thought it was fantastic. I loved it all. Josh Rosowskis says I loved it, but I don't think we're down. I don't think Agatha is working alone. It's Mephisto or Nightmare. I agree. I think you're absolutely right about that. Now, I think there's no doubt there's another player. And, man, I would love it if it turns out to be Nightmare and it's Al Pacino. Who wouldn't love that? Jeffrey Mouse says, Julie Mishkin, yeah, until the industry gets rid of these region codes, that's the only way to get multi-region playback. Yeah, it's true. By the way, for you physical media lovers, on tomorrow's Let's Get Physical Media, I've got a few rare steelbooks to give away, thanks to our friend Throg. So I'll be giving away 4K steelbooks for Tenant, among other things. So tune in for that. Also, this special edition of 2001, the 4K 2001 limited edition. So that'll be fun, which is cool. Scotty R37 says Justin Toner, ooh, cool, that'd be nice. I don't know what would be nice. I missed the first part of that. Black Phillip Alvarez says, I love Catherine Hahn. Yes, I do too. And then we're talking about region coding. The reason they can't get rid of region codes is because there's different deals for films with different distributors around the world. And until they stop doing that, which I don't see that happening anytime soon, there'll always be region codes. Dean Mikitich says, do you think Captain Marvel will turn up or Doctor Strange? I think either one of them could. They've referred to Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, a lot. So I could see that happening. So who knows? Black Philip Alvarez says neither will show up. We'll see. We shall see. Who knows? Someone's trying to call me right now, and I'm online live, so they can't. They probably didn't know that. So that was my friend Dave. Doesn't know I'm doing a members-only stream. So what can you do? What can you do? Let me turn off the sound here so that doesn't happen again. Dean Mikitich says, well, it's rumored the last episode will have a major surprise. Yes, that is true, supposedly. I'm sure the surprises are going to come fast and furious in both next week's episode and the episode after that. We shall see. And surprise cameo, I don't know. I mean, no one's actually necessarily... People have said that this, that, and the other thing. I don't know. I think we're going to see a lot more than we might have bargained for. I think this is going to go out with a bang. Whatever happens, it's going to go off. It's going to be huge. Jeffrey Mouse says, yeah, I suspect it's not that difficult, but it could involve a firmware download onto a UBS drive and then upgrade it. That's how I used to have to upgrade my Oppo player, was download firmware on a drive, and then I would put it back. Black Philip Alvarez, Rob finally got the Dieter Bastian package that has my copy of African Kung Fu Nazis. You, sir, are correct. You've seen it before. I'll show it to you again. Here is African Kung Fu Nazis. I'm telling you, what goodness is that? Amazing. So let's see. Thanks for the region player. Justin says, thanks for the region-free player info too, Jeffrey Mao. I've been planning on getting a region-free Blu-ray player this year. They're great. I just buy things from all over the world. I never care. But I've had a region player I don't think I've ever not had a region player from DVD times to now. Scotty R37 says, I'd like to see Carol advance her character more. I like Brie Larson. I think she can be great. Hopefully this could be her chance. Yeah, I mean, I don't dislike Brie Larson the way a lot of people online do. I think that they'll, she's an Academy Award winning actress. I think that maybe if they figure out a way to use her more, it could be great. Jeffrey Mouse says, yeah, it really makes buying stuff from the UK like Arrow 88 Films, Eureka Indicators, Second Sight really easy. It is, man. I always want to be able to buy discs from all over the world. I mean, it's like the 4K discs, like 3 Days of the Condor, that hasn't come out yet. So it's great. As Dieter said, I just got, well, I'll show this on Let's Get Physical Media tomorrow, but here's the 4K of Crash. I already have the German 4K, I have the Criterion, and now I have the Arrow of Crash. So, as a Cronenberg fan, it's good to have. Chris, is Stenfenagel? Is that how you pronounce your last name? Rob, can you talk a little bit about the new Netflix show you worked on with Ashley Miller? I had no power earlier this week, and I missed any announcement you may have made. Well, Chris, both the announcement trailer and the teaser, the first teaser came out. So the animated series, for those of you who might not know yet, for almost 2 years now, I've been working on a show called Dota, Dragon's Blood. Dota is, of course, or Dota 2, Defense of the Ancients, is an online game like League of Legends, something like that. It's a fantasy game, but so that's what I'm working on. It is a Netflix series. We've actually done 3 seasons. Don't tell anybody. But the first season comes out on March 25th. It's 8 episodes. Each season is 8 episodes long. And Ashley Miller, who I actually got hired on to write Agent Cody Banks with his then partner Zach Stentz. So I've known Ashley for years and years and years. And we've worked together before. He hired me to come on and be what's called an animatic editor. So the animatics are the unfinished animation. If you watched any Disney special features, you know what an animatic is. Anybody who's watched anything about special effects. So what you do in animation is the animatics are what get finished, and then the animatics get sent to final animation. So I was the last editor to touch the animatics. And people have asked me, well, Rob, are you getting credit on the show? Yes, I'm in the end credits. I have a very nice credit. Me and the Korean animatic editor and I, we have actually, there's a lot of credits in the end titles, but we get our own kind of front and center, which is nice because you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. So, yeah. And you can watch the trailer, the teaser. Actually, there's the announcement video, and then there's the actual teaser. So it's Dota Dragon's End, and you can watch the teaser. I have to say, the show is terrific, and it gets really, it has a hugely complex storyline, and that by the third season, literally I have only one more episode to work on, episode 24, and it's mind-blowing. What happens at the end of episode 23, I'm like, wait, what? It was big stuff. So there you go. Justin says, I'm impressed Marvel has been able to keep certain things secret from WandaVision despite the leaks. I agree. I think it's great. Black Phillip Alvarez says, I don't get the hate towards Brie Larson. A lot of the hate was really drummed up online because of her attitude. And there's reasons. I don't think she necessarily was down with the program of how Marvel movies work, which I understand, but I think she'll probably come around. Look, she's an Academy Award-winning actress. She's demanding of respect. She's been busting her ass, working on her craft for a long time. So, Jeffrey Mouse says, when I heard the Nexus in the commercial, I immediately thought of Man-Thing and his swamp being a nexus of all realities. Yep, indeed. And who would like to see Man-Thing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? I would like to see Man-Thing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Julian says, my issue is that the one my wife ordered from Amazon said it was region-free, but it is not. Are you sure about that? You might have to press some buttons to make it region-free. A lot of the time, they don't just play. You have to hit a button or hit a code to change the regions. So you might want to check in on that. Justin Toner says, I remember the Man-Thing guarding the Nexus. Jeffrey Mouse says, what's annoying is how discs from the same company are sometimes region-locked and sometimes region-free. Yes, it's too bad. It's a bummer. Josh Rosauskas says, I have an LG region-free 4K player, and it works great. Yeah, 4K discs, there's a few that are being region-coded, but most 4K discs are not. You can play them, all discs. Dean Mikitich says, Brie Larson does not come across as a nice person in her interviews, and it puts people off her. Yeah, it's true. But, you sometimes people aren't. Remember, she came into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and if you watch the interviews she did with people, she's done one movie, and she had her own experience, and she's dealing with people that were together for like 10 years, so she comes off as a little cold, and I totally agree with that. And I think maybe give her a little bit of time to warm up. Justin Toner says, yeah, that is a bummer. It's true. And Justin also says, the Dota series looks cool, Rob. You're going to like it. Scotty says, was the animatic posted in the Facebook group? No, I would never post an animatic in the Facebook group, but the trailers were, the two trailers that dropped. Rob, are you watching, Cinema Gulp says, or have you watched Kim Eun-hee's Kingdom on Netflix? I loved Kingdom. My girlfriend is Korean and turned me onto it last month. Just got around to watching. It's amazing. It's great. Kingdom is a period zombie, for lack of a better term, a period zombie series, and it's great. Scotty R37 says, I'm busy chasing down Tango Shalom. Well, if you live in Charlotte, the greater Charlotte, North Carolina area this weekend, you should be able to watch Tango Shalom, and also you can still see it at the San Diego Jewish Film Festival. It'll also be in Sacramento soon, Chicago, I think Toronto, Vancouver, and another couple of cities that haven't been announced yet. So it'll be playing. Dean Mikitich says, I had a region-free DVD player back in the early days of DVD. I have to put in a code that deleted the region locking, allowing me to play all region. Surprised you can't do that with Blu-ray players. You can. It depends what Blu-ray players you have. I have a Sony Blu-ray player now. I only have to punch in one button when I turn it on that changes the region. That's all you have to do. Black Phillip Alvarez says, I must have missed a lot of news this week because of the weather in Texas. Yeah, I hope you guys are holding up. Scotty R37 says, I'm fine with Brie. I would enjoy wine with Brie. I would enjoy wine with Brie Larson too. It would be great. Dean Mikitich says it could just be the DVD that's region free and not the Blu-ray. Well, no, it's the you can have a Blu-ray that's not region coded. Like the Star Trek The Next Generation Blu-rays are not region coded, and a lot of the stuff Paramount and CBS put out were not region coded at all, so you can play them everywhere. So yeah, so the Blu-rays can be region free or region coded, and if they're region coded, you still need a region-free Blu-ray player. Josh Rosowskis says, Nexus makes me think of Star Trek Generations. Yes, it does. I can't help but think that. Scotty says, y'all are treating Brie Larson like her Scott Pilgrim villainous. It's true. It's true. She was so hot in Scott Pilgrim. She was. Julian Michigan says, I tried the colored buttons, courtesy of Jeffrey Mau's help, and had no joy. Here's the thing. If you try the colored buttons, you got to do it right when you turn it on. So turn it off, turn on your thing, and if it's like a Sony player, you might want to hit, it's the second of the colored buttons on the top. It's the second button if you want to change it to region 2, which I think is blue. I think. Yeah. Scotty R37 says, Tango in Toronto. Great, thanks, man. Yeah, you should be able to see it also at the Montreal Film Festival if that's going to be, because we won Best Comedy and Best Actor, and so we'll see. Dean Mikitich says, Rob, you started watching season 2 for All Mankind? No. That first episode was quite interesting with the solar storm. I have not watched the first episode yet. I can't wait for it. Today's Robservations is about Ron Moore, actually. So that's very great. Julian says, when do you press the button? If it's a Sony player, you wait until the Sony word comes up. You turn off the player first. When you turn on the player, when the word Sony comes up, that's when you press the button. So there you go. Jeffrey Mouse says, I think I might have to do this from March 18th to March 19th. Try and watch the first half of Justice League, then watch Falcon on Friday, then try and finish Justice League. I can't watch Justice League in one sitting, maybe not even two. Dude, you gotta watch Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and then Justice League. You gotta take the whole 8-hour day or whatever. It's a work day. Watch it all at once. Julian Mushkin says, the situation is frustrating. We have a complete season of UFO Blu-rays to watch. Oh, man, I have both the Japanese Blu-ray set of UFO and the big UK box set that came with the book. Man, do I love my UFO box sets. Woo! Those discs, those Blu-rays are unbelievable. They're so good. Scotty R37 says, does Scarlet Witch have a minion in the comics? What if Wanda is the new wave bad? She doesn't really have a minion. She doesn't. So, yeah, she doesn't. But we'll see what's going on. There's more to everything than meets the eye. Dean Mikitich says, JLA in one long haul. One go. Sit, watch, long haul, says Scotty. Absolutely. 100%. Josh Rosowskis says, hope Tango Shalom comes to Ohio, dude. It might. I mean, by the way, to be honest, between you and I, if I can trust anybody under pain of death, there might be a way I can let you all watch Tango Shalom if you really want to watch it. I don't know if it's everyone's cup of tea, but I could definitely. I know people involved with the production of that movie. So, yeah. So there we go. I can hook you guys up. So, yeah. But that's the great thing. I mean, look, I never thought we'd get a show like WandaVision. It's the most bonkers thing I've ever seen. That they're leading off with this, that the MCU is leading off with this show. It's pretty incredible, which is amazing. So, there you go. Well, listen, everyone. Members only of Tango Shalom. Ooh. You know what? That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Do a watch along with Tango Shalom. That's good. Dean Mikitich says, any news of Tango Shalom coming to the UK? Not yet, but there should be some news shortly. Scotty says, it seems to be a shuttle bay that I want to dock in, that Tango Shalom. Yeah, it's really funny. I didn't know. I thought it would only play for like my mom or people's grandmothers. But there's some students at UCLA that did a story on it for the Daily Bruin, and they really liked it. They thought it was really good. I was really surprised by that. I'm like, well, that's good to hear. Because, it played well in a theater full of people, but it's a comedy, and it gets a little sitcom-y in the beginning, and it takes a while to get going, but maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do a members-only screening of Tango Shalom. I think that's not a bad idea. Yeah, I think we could definitely maybe do something like that. That would be great, but I'd have to swear you all to not rip it or steal it or put it up online or anything like that, because that would be bad. Cinema Gulp says, I'm down. The trailer looks awesome. I think more people would dig it than you think. Maybe. Can multiple shuttlecraft, says Jeffrey Mao, be docked in the same shuttle bay at the same time? Yes, they can, because the Enterprise had lots of shuttlecrafts, especially in the animated series. It had the Aqua shuttle. It had that big, beefy shuttle with the radar on it. It had regular Galileo-type shuttles. So, yeah, why not? Dean Mikitich says, the next My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Well, my fellow producer on the movie, Joel Zwick, directed My Big Fat Greek Wedding, so you never know. Although it was made for a substantially smaller budget than My Big Fat Greek Wedding. So there you go. Jeffrey Mouse says, I can't believe I never asked that joke before. Well, you never did. So yeah. Well, listen, this little members-only chat is drawing to a close. I will be back, of course, on Robservations at 2:30. Today's going to be a great show. I've got great letters today. The reason I took off yesterday, not only did I have work to do, but John Campia asked me to do, I've been doing these companion videos, and they take forever to do. So I had work and a companion video to do, so I couldn't do the show. So there you go. Well, anyway, I want to thank you all for being here. I like doing these little chats. So I guess I'll see you back on the show. And yeah. And I want to thank you very much for supporting the channel and being members. We're going to be doing more and more members-only events and chats and things like that. And they're all coming down the pike. So Scotty says, building better worlds, that's it. Wayland Yutani, the architects of all things alien. So anyway, Dean says, thanks. It was fun. Thank you, Rob. It was fun again, says Cinema Gulp. Yeah. So I'll see you in like 2 hours, and that'll be fun. So I will see you then. And remember, every person you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear. I want to thanks to all the moderators. I mean, my God, it's half. Justin's here. Josh Rosowskis is here. Thanks you all for being here. Thank you, moderators. I very much appreciate it. So I will sign off, and I will see you members later.